This tree right here, I've been told it's called burn plum. If you touch the branches, you touch the leaves, if you cut it down, it burns your skin. It's got little berries on it, and these little berries are actually edible. People can eat these berries, so I think I'm gonna give it a try. So I'm staying at a Airbnb that is up this way, kind of in the countryside of Jamaica. There's not a whole lot of people around here, no tourism really. It's an area where you want to go if you want to get away from it all. And you can see there's some goats over there just eating. Hey, how's it going? People are so friendly around here, it's ridiculous. I've just like walked up this road heading back, and people are like, hey, where are you going? Like, what's your name? Where are you from? And you know, your first inclination traveling is like, what do they want from me? These people just want to talk to me and see what I'm doing in their neighborhood. And I told them I'm looking for plants, and they're like, oh, well, you know, let me show you around. And like this woman just like brought me up the hill. She like walked with me for the past like 20 minutes. I just pointed out like all these different plants to me. That she was actually collecting so she could dry them out and give them to people, because she's into like the herbal medicine that people practice around here. I told her that I was researching the MacLeod. She didn't know what it was, but she said like, oh, I think that's maybe the same as burn plum, because that one, if that one touches you, it burns your hand. And if you cut the tree down, you have to be very careful because it'll burn you. And she, as we were walking, she's like, okay, that's it right there. And it's different. There's a different tree. So apparently in Jamaica there are multiple dangerous trees that are growing around. This is what I love about doing all this fruit hunting stuff, is that you know, you can plan things out, you can research, you can do all this stuff. You can visit people's like private gardens and have, you know, buy things online. And that is one way to do it, but some of these super rare ones like this, like there's very little documentation on them. So the only way to really find them is to go there and then ask around. It's very different than the manchineel. This is a completely different species, but apparently it also will burn you. And she pointed this out to a couple people going by, and she was like, hey, is this you eat this thing, right? And they're like, yeah, I eat it. So people eat it. You just have to be very careful when you're dealing with it, because you don't want the sap. Even like holding this like little twig is kind of making me a little nervous. The berries are okay, but you have to be careful because the other parts can hurt you quite a lot. So let's give it a little try. I don't want to eat like a ton of these things just in case, but not burning me. It's like somewhere between a green apple and pomegranate in flavor. I'm not sure if you can eat the seeds, and frankly I don't really want to try, so I'm not going to have that. But yeah, that flavor is alright. Yeah, I'd say like tart cherry, a little peppery, a little bit like pomegranate, a little bit like a sour apple, but fairly mild. It has those little flavors in it, but they're like fairly mild. It's got like the sweetness of an apple, and it's tart like a green apple. So sweetness is 5, tartness 3, somewhere like that. That's actually pretty good. That's pretty tasty. But like, yeah, as I said, the tree is something you don't want to mess with. It's still interesting to know that, you know, there are 2 dangerous plants in the area here where if you touch it, it will burn your hand. So that's kind of fun. But at least one of them you can actually eat. Fun facts. Alright, see you next time. Bye. I want to give a special shout out to AltPod and Smarter Every Day. They are mega patrons over on patreon.com. Patreon is how this channel happens. It's how I can afford to do all the things that I do. So if you want to help me out by supporting the channel and getting some bonuses along the way, check out the description. I also have these shirts for sale. Those are in the description as well. See you next time. Bye.